Welcome to the show. The channel is Sorry I Was Muted, and my name is Rin. I'll be your host of Rose's Birthday Sprints. So happy birthday, Rose, once again. Happy birthday, Rose! Yeah! That's, I'm glad it came through even without audio, That's perfect. I love that for us, for all of us here today. Yeah. Yeah. So these are going to be reading sprints, I guess. Basically, the way I was thinking is we would do two sprint sessions, and we'll let Rose pick how long they will be. And then that we're going to go until 6:30, okay? And then when it's around 4:30, whatever, for the last hour, so like 5:30, when I said we were going to end at 6:30. So it's 3:30 now, my time. So 6:30 is 3 hours from now. So what we're going to do is we'll do like 2 rounds of sprints, because I have like laundry I've got to start, and I have to finish Warrior Princess Assassin in the next like 24 hours, basically. I really have 2 days, but I have to just keep telling myself I only have 1 day, because I think you all know why. I think a deadline is something I've never had like a tight relationship with, So, all right. Exactly. 50 minutes. Anything you want, birthday girl. 100%. Okay. So then we will start our first sprint at 40 after the hour, and we will go until 30 after the next hour. So that's how we're going to do it. We're going to do 5-0. So, yeah. So, I actually am thinking about changing the channel to Sorry I Was Muted. Just because I feel like if I have a brand, that is it. So, we do what we can here at Sorry I Was Muted Live to bring the enthusiasm every time. That's what we do. Yeah, happy birthday, Rose. Happy birthday, Rose. Happy birthday, Rose. Yeah, so I'm reading Warrior Princess Assassin by Bridget Kemmerer or something like that. Let me look it up. All right. Brigitte Kemmerer. So yeah, that's what I've got. Oh, my camera's flipped, so that's gonna be, oh, hello. She said there's a rat. She heard there was a rat in here. She said she sensed Hanan was here. Look at her instincts. Oh my gosh. Oh, Hanan, take cover. She's coming for you. Hi, kitty. You would say happy birthday to Rose. Hi. Okay. DNF that and read the Everlasting. I'm going to read the Everlasting this year instead. You can see when she puts her tail in front of my face, my makeup filter, which is there to protect you from the exhaustion that is on my face all the time, is going to pop in and out. So if you see my face like freaking out, that is what's happening. You're not like losing it, All right. So back to the Everlasting. I'm going to read the Everlasting. That is going to happen. Do not fear. Oh, yeah, that's a filter. Yeah. Yeah, I have a... Let me see if I can make it go out. Yeah, so if you watch like right here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's just there to protect your eyes, friends. It's just there to protect your eyes. Fear not. I do not do a full beat and a blowout every time I get on this camera. It's pretty good. It really only struggles. You can see with the tail. She takes it down. My eyes are brown. I have a green. On my lenses, I have a green, like top coat or whatever, that helps with glare and stuff because I have astigmatism. So that's what gives the green hue to my eyes. Oh, you meant the eyelids? That's funny. Well, yeah, but if my, hey, why are you doing mass destruction, huh? Yeah, it's for astigmatism. Yeah, my astigmatism is so bad that in my right eye, which is my lazy eye, I'm at the max correction in contacts that they can do. Like, basically, if my right eye vision gets any worse, I'll have to get custom contacts. And be tested for something, keratoconus, something, some form of some vision impairment. It's what they told me. It's what Steph Curry has. So they told me, you know, that I would be. They would want to test to see if I have that, but I could have really bad astigmatism without that, I guess. But wow, now you're learning. I have one of those bodies. You know how in movies there's sometimes there's like a kid who has like asthma and a peanut allergy and like 10 other things going on with them. That is me. I am that child. So Rose is going to watch. I know I said we would go into a sprint. We're going to do it at 45. So, or something like that. But yeah, so Rose is going to watch Heated Rivalry, which makes total sense. Yeah. Wait, Kitty came. Oh, now she's angrily found herself a little spot and is glaring at me from beside the stapler. She said, I don't know. I don't think she's that angry. She's purring a lot. So maybe she's just needed to find a spot. Welcome, Jack. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, you and Kitty are definitely chill. Yeah, she stomped all over the desk, but now she's accepting it. Yeah, it was the. She said she's coming. Actually, she's coming to pick you up, Hanan, and you're gonna ride her back to the prison where your rats are being held and do a prison break. How, Jenny, welcome. Thank you for visiting. What if you quit, Jenny? Yeah. What if you quit? What if you quit? Have you read The Long Game yet, Rose? Have you? I have not. I have not read The Long Game yet. So the Assassin book, I'll read you the synopsis, or whatever the book has in Libby. But so far, it's like Well, let's see what this says, and then I'll say if I have any additional thoughts. It says, fates collide and passions ignite in the New York Times bestselling author Bridget Kemmerer's steamy adult fantasy debut about three characters torn between chasing, betraying, and craving each other. A princess caught between duty and desire, the fearsome warrior king she's promised to, and the assassin tasked with hunting them down. Warrior King Maddox, Chironan's fire magic, has earned him a ruthless reputation on the battlefield, but now his land is slowly burning. Kai's only chance to save his people is to enter a marriage alliance with the neighboring nation of Estranza and hope that their royal family's ability to manipulate the weather will help his kingdom flourish once more. He just needs to ensure that no one finds out how this fire began. Let's see. And then the princess. With enemies advancing on Estranza, Princess Jory's home needs the protection of the fearsome warrior king. But she is hiding a dangerous secret. Her family's magic is fading. Tempting as it is to reject her duties and run away with her childhood friend Asher, Jory knows that she is the kingdom's last hope. When she meets her intended, Jory is surprised to discover that beneath Kai's daunting exterior is a compassionate and sharp-witted man who sets her heart aflame. But what will he do when he realizes she's deceiving him? I hope kill her. Honestly. That's what I hope. Assassin. Asher's done what he must to survive, even if that means getting his hands dirty. Once a young nobleman in Estranza's palace where he and Jory caused mischief together, now he's part of the Hunters Guild, employing much darker skills. When a lucrative job comes his way, Asher can't say no until he discovers the targets. Someone wants Jory and Kai dead. With the guild watching, Asher must decide what he's willing to do to protect the woman he loves and the maddening king who keeps getting under his skin. So, Warrior Princess Assassin marks the beginning of a thrilling new fantasy trilogy filled with enchantment, adventure, and passionate romance. Look, here's what I think. Okay. Yeah, where is our magical money? We all need magic money. We all need magic money. Yeah, we do. We do. Rereading The Long Game. Okay. This is I think this is a love triangle. My understanding is that they are all into all of each other. Is my understanding. Is that the way that the triangle will likely be resolved is with an actual throuple. So I do think it's I don't think it's even, I don't know if I would even call it why choose, because I wouldn't say, we've had more POV from the princess than either of the, than the warrior or the assassin, but the warrior has, so far it's been like we've heard, I'd say probably twice as much from the princess as the warrior, and about twice as much from the warrior as the assassin. But I've read 5 chapters. 2 have been from the warrior, 1 has been from the assassin. Oh, and 1 has been from the princess, or 2 have been from the princess. So actually, it's fairly even, really, because I've only read 5 chapters. But I think chapter 6 is the princess again, and that's why I think she's overloaded. Also, I don't like her POV, so I think that's also why it's overloaded. I missed that, Rose. Read both Heated Rivalry and Long Game a couple years ago. Perfect time to bring up something I've been thinking about. Actually, never mind. What's wrong with her? Okay. So I'll tell you about an exchange she had. So basically, she has all of the thoughts of like, not like other girls, badass, trapped as a princess. Ugh, I can't believe I have to wear this dress. Bleh. So that's like her internal monologue. And then basically her brother signed a marriage contract to, these fire people. I've been calling him Zuko. So her brother signed a marriage contract with the Fire Nation. And now Zuko is on his way to come pick her up for the wedding or whatever. And she, because of the laws of her country, she has the right to decline to participate in the contract. So the brother can't sell her, right? She has to agree. And then her brother comes in and he's like, your prince arrives tomorrow. I hope you're ready to like do your duty and not be a huge bitch. And she's like, I'm gonna be a huge bitch. I'm not gonna do my duty. You can't make me. And he was like, well, you have to. And she was like, okay. And that was it. That was it. That was the whole thing. That was the resistance. So. Also, every other thought is Asher. Actually, let me look up how many times the word Asher is used in the first 2 chapters. Because maybe that'll get, also the whole time she's like, I wish Asher was here. Asher would tell these guys to go fuck themselves. Asher is my one true love and my best friend. And I've never ever had a thought about another human being in my entire life other than Asher. Actually, Asher, 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 Asher. Horrifying. It's horrifying. It's like, I'm like, I hated Asher before I even met him just because of how many times. Okay. Chapter 1 is chapter 1. Okay. I hope for a flicker of motion outside, some sign that Asher has returned. So my only true friend is Asher. Glance out the moonlit window again. Asher, please come. Asher can take care of himself, and I have bigger problems. My chest tightens when Asher's duties take him far from me. Asher is my dearest friend. Asher and I could do nothing but watch. Asher dove to cover me. Asher's mother, Lady Clara. Asher's mother died. Asher was exiled. Asher from the palace. Asher, I need you. That's chapter 1. Chapter 1. Asher is also my sleep paralysis demon. Asher is also my sleep paralysis demon. Jenny, I don't like names either. Okay, I'm not a namesayer. And I almost never have to hear my name unless someone's actually talking to me, So I'm not like a big name receiver either, I guess. Like I don't hear my name a lot. So, oh gosh, okay. Yeah, Rose gets her own sprints. Yeah, a princess who doesn't want to be a princess. We are all tired. Imagine how tired we are. Just like, exactly. Can't believe I have to wear this dress. Watch out for Rinko. Oh my gosh. Jenny, I have tea on this. But my plan was I did some research into the etymology of Hinako. And, whoa, it means little girl doll. What if we're the doll and not our sister? Think about that. Read the Summer War. What is the Summer War? Do you like the summary? Say it one more time. It barely sounds like a real world. The Princess in a Gilded Cage has been written. The Princess in the Gilded Cage has been written well a couple times out there, and ever since lesser authors use it as a shorthand without doing any of the work, without making. Yeah, like if you are someone from a like genetic line, basically, if like birth is what decides who's the leader of your country, okay, and you're in this birth order, like from the moment you took your first whale, you have been prepared to fulfill whatever role you have in this kingdom. And the amount of propaganda and like whatever that you would have received about like your divine right to this role and your responsibility because of that gift from whatever God or whatever, etc., etc., etc. Like, to overcome all of that, there's got to be some really sort of like either significant internal work on like just questioning, well, I don't actually think I am the best person to run the country. In fact, I know 10 guys who work for my father already who would be way better at it. So like, what exactly is going on? Or like you have an interaction with someone, you know, da 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 da. But yeah, exactly. Because also, if you think it's wrong to be a princess, I'm gonna need you to dismantle the patriarchy. I am gonna need you to do that. I am gonna need you to do that. Yeah, this is like love all over again. Okay, all right. Little girl doll, as in the doll who keeps warning us. Yeah. So you know how they said in when we found that comic book, and like he had written her name strangely in the comic book where he had like emphasized the Hina and like diminished the Ko. The Hina, that's what means like little doll or whatever. And anyway, on Girls' Day in Japan, which is like this major big holiday or whatever, they have these dolls called hinakos that they like display in temples and stuff. And some people have them in their houses. They're very expensive, so like not everyone has them in their houses, but some people have them in their houses. And I found an article on these dolls and everything. So there's like a whole thing, I think, culturally that we are not picking up on, which of course makes total sense. That, but like I just think that's really interesting. So anyway, all right, people, I am gonna get it. We are gonna go into a sprint right now. It's gonna be an amount of minutes very similar to 50, in that we will be back at 45 after. Okay, all right. So happy birthday, Rose. We're gonna sprint for whatever amount of minutes it is between now and 45 after the hour. And I have found a cute winter ambiance room for us all to enjoy. So I will see you at 45. Welcome back, readers. How were your sprints? I did not read, but I have set myself up for reading success in the next sprint. So the next sprint, I'm going to be totally locked in. But I got everything I need to do done. I gave the cats snacks. I did other stuff. I got coffee so my brain will work better. I did things, okay? I did things. I swear. I was a busy little beaver. Okay, now there's now air conditioning noise, I think. So that's what you hear, that hum. The office just got too boiling hot. I couldn't take it. I'm already wearing a t-shirt. So, yeah. I apologize, but I also don't. And also, if you're confused as to why an air conditioner is running, it's because I live in Georgia in the United States, which is in the southeast. The AC isn't loud. Oh, perfect. Okay. All right. Jenny read 10% of Red City and is now at 28%. More investment now, but still unsure how to feel. Okay. Rose is midway through episode 2 of Heated Rivalry. Jenny's going to do her last billing thing and then switch tasks. Hanan has returned. Hanan, I made your clip for you. You will find it in the Witchwood Sprints channel. So it is there for you to enjoy at your leisure. It's very good to know, very good to know. All right, so for the next set of sprints, what I'm going to do is I'm going to Jet Pens put out a writing practice sheet for the font they developed for the writing sample that they use for all pens, papers, everything on their website. So it's called Write Like Jet Pens. They have like a whole video on it, and then they have practice worksheets and whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh, and they're free. It's all free. So I'm going to download those and like maybe, I think I'm going to make a handwriting practice notebook. So I'm going to do a half sheet size. So that'd be 8.5 by 11, which is like roughly A5 for Europeans, is the size. And I think I'm going to shrink the 8.5 by 11 PDFs down to 5.5 by 8.5 so that they'll be tiny. So maybe I can practice like tiny writing. Because one of the things I want to do with handwriting is I do want to improve my handwriting this year, but I also want to make some alterations to my handwriting. One is I want to change how I hold pens. So let me get a pen. Okay, so the proper way to hold a pen is for the pen to rest on your middle finger. Okay, so the pen rests on your middle finger. So your middle finger holds the weight, and then you pinch the top with your forefinger. I know you guys know how to use pens. The reason I'm explaining this is I'm about to show you something really diabolical, and I want you to remember what it's supposed to look like before I show it to you. So now I'm going to show you how I hold a pen. It's like this, okay? And the problem with holding a pen like this, in addition to it looking like I don't even know what is happening here, but in addition to looking heinous, I have arthritis in this hand. And the way that I hold pens actually exacerbates the arthritis in this thumb and this forefinger pretty badly. And so, you know, as the arthritis developed and has gotten, you know, worse over time or whatever, writing has been harder and harder. And I think if I learn how to write properly for real, then that'll help a lot with the with the pain that I have from holding the pen like a velociraptor. Okay, Hanan did some reading, but also spent time updating the reading journal. Perfect. Yeah, so I want to learn. I want to just learn their font. It's an italic print, and I think that would be great in a journal. It would look very cute. Obviously, I'm assuming if JetPens took the time to develop this font, makes every employee learn it, uses it for every pen test and every paper test, that it's got to be legible, pretty easy to do, look nice. Like, they've kind of done the hard work. I don't really need to figure it out. I just need to practice. Jenny, that's what I'm saying, Jenny. It's like really diabolical. Jenny just switched her, just tried to hold the pen like I hold the pen, and her wrists were like, "Why do you hate us?" Yeah, exactly. And that's what my wrists are saying whenever I use a pen. Okay, they're like, "What are you doing?" But yeah, like, so my hand is already like messed up enough. I don't need to keep making it worse. So this is one of my, I don't have goals anymore. Okay. But I have things I want to do and things I don't want to do. And one of the things I want to do is to work on my handwriting. So, okay, Rose, do you want to do, well, first of all, Rose, do you want to do 2 more sprints, or do you want to do a sprint and another activity? If you want to do a sprint and another activity, what do you want that third activity to be? Is my question. And what I mean by that is, do you want to, like, crafts, that sort of thing? Is there any other type of stream that's happened on this channel that, like, you would want? Because we can turn this into a variety stream if you want to, but we can also do 2 reading sprints. But it's just whatever you want. If you're still here, you can decide. The reason I ask is because we're going to start the next sprint on the hour, and the only question is, are we doing like 2 medium sprints, a short sprint and a long sprint, 1 very long sprint until like we could do an hour 15 and just chit chat for the last little bit of the stream. The stream's going till 6:30 Eastern USA time, which is about 90 minutes from now. It's actually 98 minutes from now. So that's how much more time we have. So if anyone has any strong opinions, let me know. If not, we will sprint until 45 after. We will sprint until 45 after. But I'm just thinking, if Rose is halfway through an episode of Heated Rivalry, if we do a super long sprint, then she can finish the half and then the next episode. Okay, let's do 2 sprints. Do you want to do a shorter sprint so that you can finish the episode that you're on? So, like, should we do 30 minutes and then take a little break and then do a longer sprint to finish us off? Or should we do a short sprint at the end? What are the vibes? A sprint where I read you Heated Rivalry Chapter 1. Ironically, we've already done this because back when I was doing where I was streaming every day in December, we had a stream where I was listening to the audiobook, where I started the audiobook for Heated Rivalry during the sprint. And I was playing it through an app on my PC. And in addition to capturing the like cozy ambiance, it also captured the audiobook. And so the prologue is just straight fucking. And so it was just this little cozy cat with some chill lo-fi beats and just like sucking and all of it. And it was a lot for everyone. It was a lot for everyone. So short then long is what we're gonna do. Okay. All right, perfect. Because it just starts with them mid-sex. And so that's what was blasting into everyone's earbuds. Hi, Steph. How are you? Welcome. Yes, once again, this is birthday sprints for Rose. Happy birthday to Rose. Happy birthday. Yeah. Yeah. You're like a lot of people read the first chapter of Heated Rivalry with me. Non-consensually, I might add. Jack was one of the people there. So Jack's already had this experience with Heated Rivalry Chapter 1 on my streams. So you know, there's more than one victim in the chat today. All right. So it's 55. Let's do should we do 20 minutes will take us to the quarter hour. Let's do 35 minutes. We will go to the half hour. Rose's hair was amazing. Yeah. What's this Asher book? Warrior Princess Assassin by Brigitte Kemmerer. Non-consensual buddy reading. Very Hanan coded. Jack's like, not again. How does this keep happening? Oh my God. Okay. All right, so we're going to dive right into the next sprint. We're going to sprint until half after the hour. Steph. Yeah, chapter 1. If you're talking about the Ashers, that's just chapter 1. I only read chapter 1. So. And then if you're talking about chapter 1 of Heated Rivalry, it's a flash forward sex scene. And then it flashes, and then the next chapter goes back to when they met. So, yeah. So Heated Rivalry just starts in a sex scene. All right, we're going to go sprint. I'm going to download the worksheets and listen to... Oh, you were meaning the Ashers. Okay. I'm glad we covered both bases, so we're good. But yeah, the Ashers, all those Ashers I read are just from chapter 1. I didn't read any from chapter 2. That's just chapter 1. So I think you get why I don't enjoy the princess's POV. So yeah, but supposedly it's going to get better. Like I have been informed that this is part of her character development, that someone's going to point out to her later that she like talks incessantly about Asher and it's weird. And that she's going to have to like have some self-reflection about that. So, you know, I'll be able to let you all know since I have to finish this book tonight. I'll be able to let you all know if it improves tomorrow probably. So, or I'll DNF because I can't take it anymore. Maybe she is under a spell. Interesting thought. I can't highlight your comment, Hanan, because my comment highlighter is like kind of bugged out. Let me see if I refresh it, if that'll help. Okay. Yeah, okay. Maybe she's under a spell, an Asher spell. It's just returning to the library. It's not like a major deadline. It's just returning to the library. Okay. All right. In we go, friends. Sprinting until half after the hour. Hello, welcome back. How were your sprints, everyone? Thank you for joining us, Emily. And yes, once again, happy birthday, Rose. These are happy birthday, Rose sprints. We are here to celebrate Rose. Hi, even Kitty is here to celebrate Rose. That's right. She said, I'm here to celebrate Rose. And you guys better join me or else. Or else you'll get killed by Asher the assassin. The scariest assassin to ever assass. So, yeah. Kitty, you really are making me mad. I'm not gonna lie, if I have to be totally honest with you. Yeah. We're locked in a battle of the wills. She's trying to sit on my mouse hand, which is holding the mouse like an egg. This is one of her many strategies, for when she wants me to not be at my desk, is to just fully sit on my hand on the mouse. I think she just thinks if she can stop the mouse, then maybe I'll go downstairs. And basically, she just wants me to go downstairs, and because she wants to hang out. She wants to be downstairs, but I must be where she can supervise. So her fury is over the fact that I refuse to go downstairs so I can be supervised where she wants to supervise me. And that's why she hates these sprints. And she just wants to go downstairs because that's where all her toys are, and that's where her cushions are, and her bed, and her snacks. Upstairs is boring and lame. There's nothing cool up here. All right. Okay. So, all right. We lost Hanan, but Hanan went to bed and will soon read The Everlasting, apparently, but is currently reading Malazan. So Emily came by to say hey and happy birthday to Rose. Once again, happy birthday to Rose. Thank you for stopping by, Emily. Kitty says, hi, Jenny. She glared at me. She gave me a death glare when I said that. Jenny made it to 30% and some crazy shit did just happen. Okay, all right. Rose finished episode 2 of Heated Rivalry, so now it's time for episode 3, which is the skip episode. Yeah. We should send Kitty a streaming kit for her setup. She needs, I want to get, I need to look and do some research on this, but I want to get a cat bed that's, tall enough that it looks like she's sitting next to me, you know? Hey, come here. Here. You can do it. Get on your chair. There you go. Because her little chair that she has up here, she doesn't really like her chair that much. That's number one. And then number 2 is you can't see her very well on her little chair. It needs to be a little bit higher. So, well, that's it's so funny, Jenny, because I want one of those, or the little mushroom ones. They have all kind of little really cute shapes. So I want to get a really fun and cute shaped one for sure. So you and I are locked in. Silent Hill has connected our brains and now we think as one. Okay. All right. So it's 5:35. Sprints are going to end at 6:30. I have literally an alarm is going to go off at 6:30 and I'm going to be like, bye. Okay. So sprints are going to end at 6:30. So we want to sprint our last sprint until 6:15, basically, is my thought. And so 25, 30, that's 40-ish minutes. So that's not bad. So we're going to go pretty much straight into our final sprint. and we're gonna sprint until 15 after the hour. But I did get to work on jet pens. So I'll show you just briefly what I did. And then we'll be fine. Okay, so essentially I cut up their sheets so that I could keep the scale, because I didn't want to change the scale of anything, and now I'm rearranging them on 8.5 by 11 sheets that I can put into a book. So I haven't decided if I'm going to keep this detailed guide sheet jet pens thing here, or if I'm going to like try to add another couple rows. But here's the references. And then there's some like sheets on how to make the individual letters that I'm going to work on as well. So I think that'll be cool and fun. So that's what I'm working on. All right, let us just jump right into the next sprint, and we're going to sprint until a quarter after. Welcome back, readers. How was your sprint? I think I figured out the problem. If nothing else, all of the streams in December, because I had to do so many for hours and hours, like back to back, day after day, I really have gotten so much better at identifying like what the fuck is the problem this time. And so it was actually kind of weird to have a new problem. Because I feel like I thought I had kind of uncovered most of the problems you could have. I actually think the culprits are these guys. Okay, the Sony WX, whatever the fuck they are. I'll actually look up what they are. Because I'm going to disrecommend them. The Sony WH-1000 XM5s. So Sony's headphones, okay? People constantly put these on like the top of like wireless headphone and noise canceling headphone lists and things like that. And one thing I'll say about these headphones is that they are so, you know how there's two kinds of Bluetooth? There's the Bluetooth where the headphones can only be connected to one device at a time. And then there's the Bluetooth where they can be connected to multiple devices at a time and the headphones are somehow able to sense which device you're using. So like, for example, like I have the Soundcore that do that as well. And I have no problem if I'm doing something on my tablet with those Soundcore headphones and I switch to my phone, it instantly switches to my phone. Sometimes when I don't want it to. Actually not really. If whatever device I kind of start on, unless I close that first device and before I open the second device, it won't switch. The Soundcore, they won't jump. The Sonys jump constantly. So every single time I used the mouse, it would switch the computer. And then, so when I would press play on the video that I was trying to play for you, I think it would switch to these. And then when I pick up my phone to use this whatever, it would pause the video to play what was on my phone. And I guess there's like a level where that seems smart, but I'll just have you know, these have been disconnected. I told my computer to forget these. I said, forget you ever met them, never speak to them again. So now these are disconnected from the PC. But like, I do think it's kind of embarrassing for Sony that in this regard, this connectivity regard, the Encore, the Soundcore, the Anker Soundcore outperform them by a lot. Just in ease of use. And then in sound, I'm not an audiophile, okay? But in sound, these headphones outperform them by a lot. These are the Bose work headphones. They're designed for people who have call center jobs. And their noise canceling is designed to block out like office type noise. But the sound is better in these, I think, or I prefer the sound that comes out of these to the sound that comes out of these. So because all that being said, these are my least used headphones. And given how expensive they are, I don't hashtag no more goals. But one thing I wanted to do was like get better about using these and not just going for what was easiest. And I don't know. I don't think it's me. I think it's them. Oh, interesting. Okay, so yeah, anyway, that's why we were body doubling, but I think I've resolved the issue, and I think even if I were to use the Sony headphones again on stream, I don't think we would have an issue because I've deleted them out of the PC and they're not connected to the PC and they won't try to connect to the PC. Anyways, that was crazy. Okay, got to 35% and now Jenny's on a work break. I got to 22% in Warrior Princess Assassin, and the shape of the book is now more clear to me, and so I'm going to give you all a little bit of information. Like I said, I'm only 20% of the way through. If you're like super sensitive to spoilers, maybe this would bother you, but I don't think so. So essentially the plot is thus. The princess has been contracted to marry the princess of the Weather Kingdom, okay, Air Kingdom. Let's call her, let's say it's an Air Kingdom. So the princess of the Air Kingdom has been contracted to marry the Fire Nation prince. And the Fire Nation problem is that they did too much firebending, and now their land is totally on fire and they can't grow food anymore. And so they need to do a deal with a kingdom that has a magic that can help them repair their land and put out some of these fires, hence the Weather Kingdom. The Weather Kingdom wants to do a deal with somebody who is really good at army, and the Fire Nation is really good at army. So because of that, that's why they want to have an alliance with the Fire Nation. The Fire Nation wants, obviously, weather, they want it to like rain and like shit in the Fire Nation so they can have food again, because I guess the part of the reason they had to get so good at army was because they have to like do conquest for food now because they're dying. So that's the situation. Of course the Fire Nation prince is like based in woke, and he doesn't want to do he doesn't want to have to do conquest for food anymore. You know, he's very desperate to make this alliance work. And then the major conflict between the princess and the warrior, therefore, the warrior is Zuko. The major conflict between the princess and the warrior, therefore, is that the princess doesn't actually have weather magic, so she can't help. And then the reason that she's going through with the alliance is because I guess something with the dad, the brother said like they need the weather people are under attack from some other nation, you know, and they need to like nip that in the bud before the next generation takes over, because the next generation doesn't have the power that the dad has. And so they need to resolve this like issue with this other nation that's bothering them quickly. Okay, so now you understand the conflict there. Okay, the assassin, who is the childhood friend of the princess, he has just been given a job. So the Assassin Guild said, we have 2 jobs that we think one assassin can handle simultaneously. If they're smart, you can have either of the 2 jobs, or if you think you're smart enough to do both of them, you can have both of them. And it's this like astronomical amount of money. And so he's like, hit me with both contracts. So they hit him with both contracts, and the contracts are for killing the princess, one of them, and killing the warrior is the other one. So his job is to kill both of them, to assassinate both of them. So his conflict is that he's supposed to murder them. And he doesn't, obviously he's a childhood friend of the princess. He wants to figure out a way out of that contract because he doesn't actually want to kill her. He's perfectly happy to kill Zuko. And so this is kind of like everything that's going on. All right, so that's the setup. Okay, so essentially what we've got is the conflict between the book is, hold on, I'm trying to highlight a comment, but I lost my comment highlighter for a second here. Okay. Okay, so this book that I'm talking about is Warrior Princess Assassin by Brigitte Kemmerer, who wrote The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy. And so that is, which I enjoyed. Okay, so I enjoyed Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy. And so I thought, let's see how she does with this, because there were some things in Irresistible Urge to Fall with Your Enemy that are tropes that normally bother me and normally kind of like anti-buzzwords for me, where she was very creative and interesting with them. And so I thought, you know, maybe some other fantasy romance by this author, like I might get along with it better than I have traditionally gotten along with fantasy romance in the past. I think it's improving. We'll have to see, you know, how things go. But I don't know. I wonder if the XM4s have the older style of Bluetooth where you have to kind of manually switch, or do they have, yeah, because there's like 2 kinds of, like there's I think it's Bluetooth 3.0 where it changed, but they made an update to to Bluetooth. Depending on what type of Bluetooth is in an object, it either has to be purposely switched, or it can do this automatic switching. I just think that the Sony is, honestly, I think it's too good, perhaps, is its problem, like because of how much it was switching. Yeah, yeah, she doesn't. She doesn't. I mean, I guess we could still have a twist later in the book where she secretly uncovers her magic that has been hidden for reasons. Like maybe it's like deep down inside, whatever. Like, so there could still be a twist that she has magic, but like as far as she knows, she's supposed to have magic and she doesn't. Yeah, her one and only friend Asher having to kill her. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, okay, popping to say hi. Hi, Alicia. Happy birthday to Rose once again, because we're wrapping up here. But everyone, thank you to everyone who came to say happy birthday to Rose and joined me in celebrating Rose's birthday with a little stream. You're off now? Well, we're ending sprints is what we're doing. They end at 6:30. So I'm really sorry because it like feels like we were like, oh, well, we gotta go, you know. So the timing was terrible. I hate that. I hate that. I hate when someone comes into sprints and is like, hey everybody. And it's like, anyway, sprints are over. But yeah, sprints are. I have an alarm that's going to go off at 6:30. When that alarm goes off, I'm going to switch to the ending screen and we're going to be. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. We'll have a sweet off. We'll have a sweet off. Oh my gosh, Jenny, did you pass? Did you lap? You're so welcome. Thank you so much for being so supportive to everyone in the Witchwood and being so kind all the time and for participating so thoroughly in Heated Rivalry Brain Rot with all of us. And for sticking with us through all of our shenanigans through the years. Do we have Baldur's Gate? Because it's not on the calendar. Unless I'm looking at a wrong calendar. I don't think there is this week. Unless... Oh gosh. Okay, that's the alarm. But before I do that, I just want to say I saw in the Sprints channel where I said it was Warrior Princess Ashassin because the guy's name is Asher. And then Jack said out, ass app, in, ash app. So from now on, I will refer to this book as Ash app. So that'll be really confusing and fun. Okay, all right, my alarm went off. I do have to go, but thank you so much everyone for joining me. Happy birthday, Rose. I hope the rest of your day is magical and fabulous. And if there is Baldur's Gate 3, I will see you there. If there isn't, I'll see you Sunday. That'll be the next stream. We'll do more Sunday Scaries. So thank you so much. Stopped after that hoe. Oh my gosh. Does she cook everything on high? Happy birthday again, Rose. We'll find out, Jenny. You and I will find out possibly together. So, all right. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye.